right. My grandfather spent most of my childhood hidden behind a video camera. It was one of the first portable ones, a VHS recorder that weighed about 100 pounds, slung on top of his right shoulder. Sing that song from Annie. You can hear my grandfather's distinctive voice from the other side of the screen. Stop moving so fast. Walk slowly. Despite this monstrous camera living in front of his face for half a century, my grandfather had yet to realize that the camera moved along with you. I have over 30 VHS tapes that my grandpa took over the years. Some are wonderful memories of my sisters and I running around in our PJs, lip-syncing to Grease 2. I wanna ride, that's cool. And some make me laugh so hard I'm crying, like my sister dancing around in her diapers while shoving a handful of cold spaghetti in her mouth. Some are just totally stupid, like when my grandfather videotaped paintings at his local library. Hours and hours of footage of fake Van Goghs and Picassos that my sister and I were convinced to voice over. Wow, my eyes are weird, and my face is like all crooked and weird. After my grandfather passed away, I asked my grandmother what she was going to do with the camera. That hunk of junk? I'm throwing it away. My grandma loves getting rid of shit that may potentially have amazing lifelong memories or sentimentality. You want this ugly pillow? I'm getting rid of it. But Grandma, I sewed that for you in 3rd grade. I usurped the camera before its untimely recycling. The camera sat on the bookshelf for about a year before I realized that, what the fuck? There's a tape still inside. What was on the tape? The last tape that my grandfather ever took. Was it some lost footage of my family that might give some insight into my parents' shitty marriage? A behind-the-scenes look at my grandparents' relationship, one that I never quite understood? Maybe a last will and testament from my grandfather himself, one that will give closure to his premature and shocking brain cancer? Or maybe even the meaning of life? I called my cousin and told her to get down to my apartment right quick. We needed to open that damn camera. 4 bottles of wine later, and endless contrived stories of what might be on the VHS hidden inside, my cousin and I threw in the towel. We tried to change the battery didn't work. We tried to plug it in, the plug didn't work. We thought that if we did a shot for every time we couldn't open the camera, we might just get the tape out, but that didn't work at all. The camera with the undisclosed VHS sat on my bookshelf for another 3 years. I was helpless to its powers, yet drawn to the secret tape that lay within. Until one day when my husband said, well, if it doesn't work anyway, why not just take that shit apart? It took my husband all of 15 minutes to unscrew the screws and discompart the compartments. And then, bam! The tape was free from its 1980s confines. I held the tape in my hand, almost scared to actually be able to hold it. My grandfather died in 1996, and this was now 2009. So you can imagine how insane this felt. I took the tape, trembling, and popped it into my VCR. I pressed play. Pause! What would it be? My grandpa's video diary? Why my mom was such a schizo all these years? The Colonel's secret recipe? Where the Bermuda Triangle was and why have people just totally stopped talking about it? Why they bothered to make a RoboCop 3 even though you have to give it to them that RoboCop 2 wasn't all that bad? Or maybe it would be missing footage of my family. but the version of my family that I never knew, or at least I don't remember. When my mom and dad kissed and held hands and laughed together while their 3 little girls danced around the living room. I hit play. The tape was fuzzy at first, but soon came into focus. The face that appeared on the screen was one I remembered very well. It was the face of a person that I loved, someone that I have known since I was a little kid, a person that has made me laugh and cry and think and revere and hate through most of my life. The person that came into focus was Bill Murray. The VHS was a copy of Groundhog's Day that my grandpa had obviously taped off of TV, 80s commercials and all. I could only imagine one reason why he had it on his video camera. He must have watched it enough times to finally want to tape over it, which I totally don't get because as many times as I've seen that movie, it's still hilarious. And it was that day as well. Thank you.